I want to quickly bring in Dr. Kgosi Letlape, who's the Action SA Member of Parliament. In fact, he's one of the people that blew the whistle on these ANC Youth League leaders in Gauteng that have been appointed to the boards of Gauteng's public hospitals. Yeah, Dr. Letlape joins us now on the line. Thank you for making time for us, Dr. Letlape. Good morning.
Good morning to you and good morning to the listeners.
What concerned you the most when you saw that there are about 8 leaders of the ANC Youth League in Gauteng who have been appointed to the boards of Gauteng's public hospitals?
What concerned me is the issue of value add. What skills do they bring to the board? What are the requirements in terms of the skills that are needed, and do they fit those requirements? I have no problem with deployment as long as people have the competencies for what is required.
Have you asked the health department in Gauteng if these people have the competency? I spoke to the ANC Youth League leader, one of the leaders in Gauteng, and he indicated to me that one of the people, for instance, doesn't even have a post-matric qualification but has some kind of experience. So was there any justification from the health department? Because they don't want to come and talk to us and explain how this process unfolded.
Well, I will be taking it up in the Portfolio Health Committee in Parliament, and I will be asking our 3 MPLs in the Gauteng legislature to take the matter up so that explanations can be provided. We can't be subjected to what happened in higher education.
Yeah.
We need proper processes. People need to understand that all these positions should be available to the right people in society so that we can get guidance and oversight on our hospitals. If you remember, there have been tender challenges in Gauteng in particular, and there seems to be connections back to people that are inside the movement. When we now get strategic deployment that is of no value for the purpose of the institution, we all should be concerned.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Kgosi Letlape, thank you so much for making time for us. So he does mention there that we can't be dealing with another higher education scandal. And we've spoken about it many times here on the show, right? The scandal over ANC-connected individuals who've been appointed as chairs of SETA boards. The now fired Minister of Higher Education had to reverse that decision because there was outrage. People were asking, how do you go and appoint Gwede's son, Gwede's advisor, and other politicians from the ANC on the boards of these SETAs? And because of that, we need to be even more cautious and ask serious questions when we start seeing ANC comrades dominating boards. That's not to say people who are aligned to the ANC or are members of the ANC or leaders of the ANC who are qualified and have the requisite experience shouldn't be sitting on these boards. We're dealing with an ANC that has abused these positions in the past. So we need to be extra careful. That's why the question is, do these PEC members of the ANC Youth League in Gauteng, do they bring in the requisite experience that is necessary to steer this critical healthcare system? You know about the challenges in our public hospitals. So you need people who actually understand that. I mean, even the advert for the board nomination stipulates that applicants must be professionals with expertise in legal, finance, management, governance, medicine, and health-related backgrounds. And we just want to make sure that these people meet that criteria. But guess what? The health department doesn't want to come and answer that question. Jack Bloom is the DA Gauteng Shadow Health MEC joining us on the line. Jack, thank you for your time. Hi.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
So the health department won't speak to us. Are they speaking to you? Have they responded to you? Because I know you have raised the same issues.
Well, look, I think it's very suspicious that they don't want to publicly engage on this. I did write to the chairperson of the Gauteng Minister's Health Committee, and he's agreed to put it on the committee's agenda. I see we have our next meeting next week, Wednesday, so hopefully we can interrogate the MEC on it. We don't just want to report from the Gauteng Health Department. We want to ask the Health MEC directly what her influence was in this matter. Of course, they'll probably deny everything, but it's highly, highly suspicious that such senior members within the ANC suddenly get on hospital boards who don't seem to have the requisite experience, and we just have very poor excuses about the whole thing. And we can't play games with this. Our hospitals are in a terrible state. They need highly qualified, engaged hospital boards, not political cronies, which is what this appears to be.
So one of, some of the information I got early this week as I was asking questions, in fact, with some people in the department around this, was that there are cases where, for instance, when there is an advert that is out saying we're looking for board members, there's often areas where there is no response. So the people in the committee then who have to choose the board chairs are now stuck because there are certain areas that don't have an overwhelming response. I mean, that's still no justification then to just put in, senior leaders of the ANC or ANC Youth League. But if from your experience, Jack, is that the case? So when there's an ad out looking for board members for people to apply, and these are the requirements, from what you've observed, is that the case that sometimes people just don't apply?
Well, not really. My experience is that there are applications, but you have to make sure that they're suitable people, and you could make extra efforts to get the right type of people. But under no circumstances should you appoint your political friends there. The problem that we actually need to empower our hospital boards, but we also at the same time need to make sure that they have people of integrity and experience and can make a contribution. They're an oversight body. It should ideally be the concerns of the local community must come in as well. But I think we need all the help we can get to fix up our hospitals, and certainly having empowered, highly qualified and engaged hospital boards with the interests of the community at heart would help a lot. But just to get ANC Youth League officials appointed, I think just smacks of something much worse.
Yeah. Well, Jack, thank you for making time for us, and I hope you can get some answers from the Health MEC, and we'll bring you back to check what their defense or explanation has been, because nobody is apportioning any blame here. Nobody says, oh, they did something wrong. We don't know. We just want to make sure that these people have the requisite experience. Hospitals are in a terrible state in Gauteng. The last thing you need is to put in some politicians there because, young people in the ANC want opportunities. Yes, they must get them, but they must be qualified. They must have the requisite experience. Hospitals that are in a terrible state just don't need people that are placed there. They need people who are qualified and have the requisite experience. So do these 8 ANC Youth League leaders in Gauteng who have been appointed to these boards, are they qualified? Do they have the necessary experience? And if so, Health MEC, Health Department, why wouldn't you want to come on air and say that? It's 24 minutes after 9 o'clock.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
On 702.
Good morning, Clement. This is Mpo from Brooklyn. Vanaga, in Mamelodi, we say, there's. You're exposing something that people have not been aware of for over a long time. The boards have been infiltrated by people who do not even have the expertise. Hammer on it, Mfanaka. Don't leave them. Mfana, we want answers. Accountability is key.
Hi, Clement. I mean, it's clear those board deployments by Gauteng. I mean, the purpose is clear. It's about influencing the awarding of tenders. Remember, there's a national conference that's coming in less than 2 years, I think, from now, where the ANC will be electing its leaders. So the Youth League is an influential player. in that regard. And more than that, I mean, there's money that is needed for ANC conferences. So you have top senior ANC leaders who are already making their moves. I mean, your Fikile Mbalolas, who is eyeing the presidency, and of course, his ally in this regard, I mean, is the ANC Youth League. So the game is the same, the script is the same. Influence tenders, generate money, so that you can then move nicely towards the successful conference of the ANC. Thanks, Clement Tabo, Mitrend.
And that's why we need to be cautious even more now ahead of the elections and ahead of the elective conference. Because if history is anything to go by, this is a crucial period. This is a very crucial period. We need to open our eyes. Who's being appointed where, and ask the questions. Even with the national dialogue, we do. I'm not questioning the legitimacy and the need for the dialogue. I know the history of how it's come about, and the former president and other foundations who have wanted this, right? But is this going to be used as an opportunity to steal? Because the foundations are not going to have a say as to which company gets, unless they're going to do that. Are they going to be the ones that appoint catering companies when there's going to be a dialogue somewhere in Mpumalanga? Are they the ones that are going to appoint companies that are going to bring in the infrastructure? We need to open our eyes, because this is a moment that can be used by thieves, greedy politicians, because it's happened before, even during COVID-19, when all of us are scared for our lives and we don't even know what this disease or what this virus is about. They think about stealing. We've seen it when we were burying the former president Nelson Mandela. When all of us are sad and we're thinking about how is this person going to be given a dignified send-off, they're thinking of stealing. What makes it different this time around? Huh?